Hey, what's going on? Brad Tragick back again, getting set up with the camera a little bit and way higher up than what I usually am. So kind of cool. Got a different. You see everything in the background. Uh, you can tell I have kids. You see the cars, chair, right about there. You see in the background. Um, and you can see a sliver of the couch over there at the bottom too. Uh, he loves Mickey Mouse and all that jazz. So if you ever see toys in the background, I'm doing videos. That's why. So you can see a lot more of the place where I reside in with the new webcam. Let's get right into it. Wrestling. Wow. WrestleMania is starting to kick off. Gotta say, well, they just announced a match on the website. So I guess I'll talk about that right out the gate. John Laurinaitis and Teddy Long will face in a 12-man tag team. Um, it kind of confused me though because I don't know if they're actually going to be in the match or if they're going to just have 6 people on each side, which is what I'm guessing. They're probably not going to compete. They're just going to pick 6 guys to compete for them, and then probably battle and talk trash on the outside and try and interfere and stuff like that. But it seems like it'd be pretty interesting. WWE, I think, went really smart on it. I think it would be smart if they didn't put them in the match. If they did, like I said, it'd be like 5 guys. But I mean, who knows who they're going to pick? Probably going to be guys, that like we probably know. Like Teddy Long will probably choose like Justin Gabriel and people like that. I'm assuming guys, that they think are good, but not good enough, to really be something. But I mean, they're going to choose decent people probably for WrestleMania. I could see John Laurinaitis picking Jack Swagger and uh, you know, Dolph Ziggler, or possibly Jack Swagger might not be in it. They may put Santino and Jack Swagger at WrestleMania for the final rematch or something in a stipulated matchup or something. So who knows? I'm throwing that possibility out there because it might happen. I did predict, and I don't really have any other predictions about who's going to be in the match because I mean it could be anybody. They could choose anybody. They could pick some guys like Kofi or R-Truth, or they could go with guys like Justin Gabriel or Heath Slater or something like that. But I could see them going the direction of the lesser known people that they think really do have a future in the WWE's company. But then I did predict the video a match, and I mean it was pretty, it was pretty, but I mean I did predict it, and it came true. Cody Rhodes versus Big Show for the Intercontinental title. Um, and like I said in the past, I do think that Cody Rhodes should win this match. Um, but if he doesn't, then I think he'll win it back. Like very, very quickly, he'll win the title back. Um, they were going to give Big Show a moment and give us a moment, and then have him battle with Cody Rhodes a couple more matches at some more pay-per-views, and then maybe have somebody interfere and cost him the Intercontinental title to go on to another feud. It would be probably the best way to do it if they were going to give Big Show his moment. But I really don't think that they need to do anything. And Cody Rhodes with a win over Big Show would really, really solidify that they're really wanting to push Cody Rhodes, and I already think they are. I think they're pretty much behind him. Just the way the way you see things, the way they have put in motion, everything else. Things in back. The TV is irritating. I put the mute on. I might go turn it off here in a second for the next video. Um, but yeah, a lot of things going on in WWE. I will say real briefly that TNA, I haven't been following, so once I get caught back up on TNA, I'll start talking about that again. But I'm kind of lost out in the fray. I had no idea. I heard Mr. Kennedy's back, or whatever you want to call him. He's back. Mr. Anderson. That's all I know about that. But going back to WWE. So now we have matches assigned. We have the normal 3 matches you all know about, for the world titles and stuff. I'm not going to continue to talk about those because that those are going to happen. Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus, The Rock and John Cena, and Chris Jericho and CM Punk. I know now there's talk, well, who's going to be the main event? Well, everybody should know who the main event's going to be. It's going to be John Cena and The Rock, the one they've been pushing all damn year. And then probably before that will probably be the world. I would think the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and then maybe Triple H before that. But the way as people are over, I would say that Triple H and Undertaker might end the show, just at how anticipating a match that is. But it'll probably be I would think the second to the last card. That realistically, it'll probably be the second to the last card, and the world titles will probably be the third and fourth to the end of the card match. I'm assuming they'll probably put on Daniel Bryan and Sheamus probably 5 or 6 matches to the end. So probably about halfway through the card, you'll probably see the SmackDown World Title defended. Just because it's not that much of a meaningful title right now, and it's the same with the WWE title because CM Punk and hasn't really elevated himself that high yet to where they think that much of him. Now, when Triple H and Undertaker, like I said, it's WrestleMania. These guys aren't up to that caliber, and this year they just got they got the 2 blockbuster matches, and then they got the 2 world title matches. So they're not going to be the world title is not going to be the main event of the WrestleMania. It should be. But this year it's been all about John and Roxy, so that's going to be the main event. If it's not, then I'd be really, really shocked. I'd be like the whole point of having John Cena versus Rock all freaking year long. But other than that, Drew McIntyre, I will talk brief things about Raw. I don't really remember too much that happened on Raw this past week. I remember it was pretty decent. I liked it. The way the show flowed. Wasn't a whole lot of wrestling that I remember, but a lot of the moments and a lot of the promos and stuff were really amazing. SmackDown, I didn't see it, but I heard a review. Trio Woe Show, thank you. He didn't even watch it. He watched the spoilers and then talked to us. I love Trio Woe Show, though. They're awesome. But going from his review, what he talked about, Drew McIntyre finally got a win over Hornswoggle, sort of. So he got his job back. Did anybody really ever think that he was going to leave? I mean, after the third or fourth time, I think people pretty much said he ain't going to leave. This is some stupid storyline to try and get him over. He's not bad. I don't know. I haven't really seen much good in him, but I'm sure he's got some talent. The way he talks and carries himself when he talks backstage and everything, I think he does have the mic skills. So I'm just haven't really seen in ring work yet to see if he's really that great of a thing. I mean, just him talking is not going to get him over that much. And another thing, Santino's still the United States champion. My guy, I got to root for all damn year long. So thank you, Off the Rope Show, Mr. Rout. He assigned number 9 to me, I believe it was this year, and Santino was number 9. So I got him. So I'm rooting for him all year long. Damn, did I get a good wrestler already? Damn, they should put me in the contest because damn, I'd be having like a bunch of points already from Santino. He's been on TV like every week and like Raw and SmackDown, winning titles, defending titles. Damn, I probably have a bunch of points by now. Anyway, the whole thing with John Laurinaitis and Teddy Long, I think it's pretty interesting, and it's interesting they kind of slowly dragged it into this. And you've seen the heat come up between Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis, probably a couple months ago. You started to see the build toward it, and then, and you didn't. I don't think anybody understood what was happening at that time. But now that they built, all this up, I think they did a great job. I'm kind of setting this all up for that whole feud. But this leaves me wondering, after WrestleMania, what's going to happen? It's like, is Teddy Long going to go up to obscurity? Is he going to become a manager again? Because I'm afraid to say, but seriously, do you really see Teddy Long being the general manager of both shows? Yeah. How exciting would that be? Let me just take a glance out the window for that comment. Yeah, okay. It's going to be pretty bad. Who wants Teddy Long as the general manager of Raw and SmackDown? Tag team matches every week for the main event. I can just see John Laurinaitis winning this. Why wouldn't he win it? That's my thing. It's like, the only thing would be if they were to have Teddy Long, do both shows and something would happen. He would get hurt, in a storyline, and, then somebody else would come in and be the general manager or something like that. But I don't know. This is the way, I guess, to kind of erase the thought that John Laurinaitis was the interim general manager, because we're not really saying that much anymore. He says it. It's like the way they're talking, it's like, well, Teddy Long's the GM of SmackDown and John is the GM of Raw. That's basically what they're saying. Do we not forget that he's supposed to be the interim general manager? So I guess after this, he will be the general manager of both shows if he wins. So that's kind of like, well, what is the point in that? So I guess he is the general manager now. I don't know. WWE's confusing. They forget what they tell us, and then later on they're like, oh yeah, they're going to be fighting because the two general managers are going to be fighting for sole control. But he's not the general manager. Really annoying. Really annoying when they like tell us one thing and then continue a storyline, they fumble and they say something else. It's like, did anybody else catch that? In that they say the two general managers are battling, basically to see who the ownership of both shows. Two general managers. Anyway, stupid thing to get caught up on. But I'm just saying that's what they did, and they basically just said that John's the general manager of Raw. So anyway, I don't know. It's like there could be better people. I mean, John is great, but the only thing is because he's stupid. That's why everybody boos him, But I guess if we didn't have the internet, we probably would enjoy John. We'd be like, yeah, God, boo, That's the one thing, like, fans of the internet, people who are on the internet, constantly, you gotta take in perspective, what if you didn't have the internet? What if you didn't know the things you knew today? And you just were just watching wrestling, Sometimes you gotta sit back and just, forget everything that people are talking about and people are talking shit about the guys on the wrestling show and just sit there and watch it. Because, I mean, some of the things people were saying, like, oh, this guy's boring, he didn't have a good segment this week, blah, blah, blah. And, I don't know, it's just, sometimes you gotta take a back seat and, like, not think about that stuff and just have fun watching wrestling. And with some weeks, when the show is really, really crappy and there is no saving, there is no talking good about the show because it's horrible. And like, just as a fan watching it, you're like, that's it? It's like watching some of the Monday Nitros, like back in the day in WCW, you'd watch and be like, that was it. The whole entire highlight. Sting showing up one time to talk to Hulk Hogan. That was the whole entire highlight of the show. All the other matches, blew ass. And I'll tell you, there was a couple of Nitros like that, where, you watch WCW and, there wouldn't be anything, like the whole show basically blew. You didn't really watch it at all. And you watched WWE when it came on, and, near the end, you kind of turn it over, and you're watching the last 15 minutes of WCW Monday Nitro because that was the best part. That tells you why WCW kind of went under, but that was actually during the boom period, I believe, when near the end when NWO was kind of getting kind of shaky. Because basically when Sting fought Hulk Hogan, NWO started going downhill after that because basically Sting, had proven, that he's going to stand up to the NWO, all that stuff. That's a whole other video for a whole other day. But so WCW had its boring moments, and when we the fans look at wrestling, we know it's boring. We know when it's not boring. Just as a wrestling fan, you can sit here and just watch, like 3 weeks ago, Raw was, horrible. Everybody was like, oh, yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, some people liked the Rock promo a couple weeks ago. I liked it, but, a lot of people were talking crap about saying, oh, it was, bad or horrible, and it's like, I said at first is that, I think he toned it down so that the John Cena wouldn't look that bad. Because The Rock can talk promos. Hell, he did it from all those via satellite crap, and we're all eating it up like candy. We're like, ooh, he's not, he knows what to do, So, I mean, I don't really have much to talk about, so I'm not going to keep this video, super long. So, there you go. That's all we got to talk about. If I think about something else, I might do a direct topic on that here in a minute. This is the video day, so I'm going to upload a bunch of videos today. So definitely comment down below if you haven't subscribed up above. Brad Tragick. I talk about a variety of things. So if you're a wrestling fan, tune in. If you like music kind of stuff, check it. Any kind of music. I do 14 bands. I'm trying to do that today. I got different shows coming. Definitely check them out. Subscribe up above, and see what's on the way for Brad Tragick. Later.